got an idea, you heard me?
Make the leaks. Need to fix the leaks. No, give me that.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, if you love the family business, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like the video and leave your theories, comments, everything down below. Now today, we're going to be talking about the family business New Orleans Season 1, Episode 5. This is my quick review of Episode 5. So down below, I want you guys to let me know, what do you think about Episode 5 and what do you think is going to happen next? And you guys, make sure you checked out my last few videos. If you're a fan of Power, I dropped the Power Book 3 Raising Kanan Season 4. Unique, he was found, but who helped him out? I also dropped the promo trailer. And if you're a fan of Beauty in Black, check out the Beauty in Black Part 2 official trailer that was released earlier on. Let me know what y'all think is going to happen in the second half of the show. But let's talk about the topic of discussion, the family business New Orleans Season 1, Episode 5. Man. Your boy John LeBlanc, he was real close to having that confrontation with Floyd, but guess what? Sheriff Clay popped up at the right time and it ruined his plans. But y'all already know it's just a matter of time before he gets out. But what do y'all think about the end of the episode where Big Shirley had the conversation with Skunk about him being out there in the video and the Pierre incident? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Skunk definitely knows more than what he's putting off. And I would not be surprised if he's involved somehow, some way. More details should come out in next week's episode. But let's begin. Let's talk about Episode 5, some of the key moments. Your boy Skunk was very, very lucky. I mean, luckily he ran right into Sheriff Clay, and then she got the call about the gunshots being on the golf course, and this is where she runs into John LeBlanc. John LeBlanc and his crew, they pulling out straps. I mean, they about to go toe-to-toe with the sheriff, and John LeBlanc does not have any respect for Sheriff Clay at all, especially based off her past, which she ended up revealing later on in the episode. But they're brought in. I mean, he is a felon, as she stated, so he shouldn't even be having the strap on him anyway. But y'all know he's still gonna get out eventually. Now, your boy Floyd was lucky as hell because Ernestine came out of nowhere and gave him that chicken foot for his protection, because we already know if he did not have that on, it would have been bad news for him and maybe even his family. And speaking of his family, we know Marquis and Curtis, they pop up as well. They're having a conversation with Sheriff Clay, and we know Marquis needs to talk to her later on, which he does, telling her, like, look, we have a major problem. Skunk gotta go. He needs to be neutralized because him talking is a major risk for all of us, especially if they find out what really happened, especially if they find out that you helped, bury all this stuff with Pierre LeBlanc. And now we know the sheriff is kind of shaky and she's trying to figure out what she's going to do, because we know Marquis told her her name will come up quicker than she thinks. Now, we get to your girl Marie, and she is kicking it with her sister Raven. We know Raven from the family business. We know Raven, she loves Harris, but Harris, he is a major problem. And we know they go to the fortune teller, which is Ernestine, and she's telling Raven the exact same thing. Like, look, Harris, he is the anchor that is, holding you down. So you better be real careful with that. And we know Raven, she already knows this. Now she starts to do Marie. Marie doesn't really want to get into it like that, and she doesn't really believe it. But once Ernestine starts to talk about her relationship and how it's going downhill and how this man in the mask is going to love you better than anybody's loved you before, it starts to get real serious. And Raven is like, what? Like, you didn't tell me about this. Like, what's really going on in your marriage? And who is this guy in the mask? Which we know is Curtis. And we know later on in the episode, your girl Marie, she's going to make a visit to Curtis once again because she needs some me time, right? Because we know her whole thing with John LeBlanc, it ain't going too good. He ain't clapping no cheeks. So now she needs to go out there and get her freak on. Now, your boy John LeBlanc, he's locked up having a conversation with Sheriff Clay. We get the history lesson of the two. He used to sell her drugs, and he's seen her at her worst point, right? And he tells her, I know you're in Shirley Duncan's back pocket. He knows that she's all over the, the mayor or whatever. He understands who she's working for, right? And he tells her that he's better as a friend than an enemy and do not mess with him. So we know he's going to be a major problem. Sheriff Clay knows this as well. Now, let's talk about your boy Prince and Lauren. She tells him that she's a virgin, and I've been waiting on this. Now, to be honest, he was happy as hell. He's like, man, ain't nobody never been up in that. I'm definitely not trying to mess this up, and I don't think he is. But then again, once they find out the truth of who they both really are, things may change. But they may stick together, y'all. This may be one of those relationships where even though their families are going up against each other, the love they have between each other may keep them together. We shall see. Now, your boy Saint, he also has somebody on the payroll with law enforcement, and he gives him a document with a list of witnesses and tells him, y'all need to handle Skunk. This is the reason why John LeBlanc is locked up in the first place. Y'all need to figure that out. And we know he tells him you got about 10 minutes to have a conversation with John LeBlanc because he does not know when Sheriff Clay is going to return, and she's all over his case. So we finally get to see the two have the conversation, and John LeBlanc tells him that he actually wants to have a conversation with Skunk, and he's starting to believe that everything that he was telling him was the truth the whole time, and he basically overreacted to everything that went down. Now, he does tell Saint, don't tell his wife anything until the morning. He does not want her worrying about it. And we know Saint tells him that he's going to have a meetup with Sebastian because they plan to get more weight to move it throughout the city, and they're trying to make all this money. Now, we get to your girl Marie. She goes to the casino, and of course, Curtis is right there. And man, they don't give a damn. I mean, they all lovey-dovey, all close and stuff. I mean, she does not give a damn if anybody saw her, in my opinion. Well, as I told you guys before, the whole Saint thing and Antoinette is one thing. John LeBlanc, that's the one that everybody's going to have to worry about if he finds out that his wife is kicking it with Curtis. Now, we get to the stalker, Gabriel. I mean, this dude is a real life stalker trying to relive fantasies from back in the day. And he tells Big Shirley that he's sorry about how he approached her in the last episode. And he should have offered her more money. $500,000. Like, really? Like, he's really offering all this money? Big Shirley pulls out the strap, tells him, I don't care if you're offering $10 million, I'm still not sleeping with you, and you can die for real. He tells her, well, some things are worth dying for. This dude is mental, y'all. Something is up with him. I mean, Big Shirley, you might as well get this bread. Get this bread and smoke him. Get him up out of here. But I told you guys, she could use this guy as an advantage because he's a billionaire and he has all types of resources. But Big Shirley, she's not going. She does not want anything to do with this guy. And from the looks of it, he's going to be a major problem, especially the way he was looking at her at the end of that scene. This dude is a sicko, a psycho, and a damn stalker. Now let's talk about your boy Marquis and Antoinette. I mean, I just don't get it. How stupid can you be? He really don't give a damn because you out here where people can see you kicking it with her. She's getting in the same car as you, y'all all together. I mean, anybody can see this, but he does not care. Now we know Prince was outside and he saw him get in the car with Antoinette. So they followed them to the Motel Hotel Holiday Inn. And of course, they caught them slipping. This is the part I've been waiting on since that official trailer aired because we knew this was going to happen. I mean, this whole scene was funny as I don't know what. I mean, they couldn't do anything. They opened up the door. Prince is taking pictures. Now they got evidence that they can take back to Saint, letting him know, look, your girl, she stayed getting her cheeks clapped. I mean, look at her. Look at her. This is 100% evidence. Now what you gonna do? What is she gonna do? I mean, she could get dropped off, to be honest with you guys. I know your boy Marquis, he gonna be good, but he was very upset trying to figure out what's his next move going to be. Well, your mom's already told you to leave her alone. Lauren has already told you to leave her alone. Dice has already told you to leave her alone, but I guess those cheeks must be out of this world because why would you risk it? The question is, did he strap up or did he hit straight raw dog? Based off the way that he's been moving, I'm pretty sure he was hitting that raw. Now, let's talk about your boy Skunk and Sheriff Clay because she's taking this boy to the swamp. And man, he was scared as hell. I'm like, man, you stay running. This would be a great time to start running, but he knows if he runs, he's going to get popped. She makes him get out the car. He goes and get into a truck, and we know Big Shirley, she is there. and this is where she's questioning him about his moves. I mean, he's already been talking too much, but she's telling him like, look, we got to have a conversation because we got those cameras and we pretty much know you know more than what you're putting off. I'm going to tell you right now, this man knows what happened to Pierre that night, and I would not be surprised if he had something to do with it, or maybe it was someone else, but he know more. He definitely know more. While he up here trying to pin it all on Marquis and Floyd, he's not telling the the full story in my opinion, but hopefully we get those answers in next week's episode. Now, we'll be giving you guys the what to expect video for episode 6 in the next few days, so be on the lookout for that video and let me know what y'all think is going to happen next. Now, I want to thank you guys once again for all the love, all the support, and I will catch y'all on the next one. But let me get up on out of here, man. It's your boy Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.